actually crying now. So yeah, had to restart the shooting on that one. Hello all of you little demons, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and awfully hosted Tues Your Own Adventure, the weekly medieval themed format where I, the crown Jules of WhatCulture.com, take a list chosen by you, yes, you James Dowes, and I, who have to celebrate the fact that this technically is our 2-year anniversary video. Hooray! Or Kermit the Frog, hooray, that is great! We're not going to be doing a full-blown episode based on it because we just did the 100th episode and the Christmas special at one. There's too much celebrations going on, and I need to get some work done. And work I shall, my friend, because today we're talking about video game characters that were truly, utterly awesome, yet only appeared in one game. You see, while the likes of Master Chief in his handy-dandy grappling hook, Cloud Strife in his pixelated hair so sharp that it could open a tin of Spam, and who could forget Microsoft's newest mascot, Crash Bandicoot, all of these and more have made fans over the world weep in joy at the brilliance of their adventurers. And it's easy to see why franchises have been built around them, yet some video game characters managed to knock it out of the park with just one appearance under their belt. Whether they were killed off at the end or just had their franchise iced, the important thing is that they made a statement and made it hard. So let's raise a glass, or in this case, a tin cup filled with very nice smelling coffee, at those that could not be with us today because of the fact that they never really got a second outing. But who knows, maybe with enough support, maybe we'll see it, and then this list will be inaccurate then. About 90% of ours already are anyway. But anyway, with that in mind, I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 more incredible gaming characters who only appeared in one game. Number 8, Helmut Fullbear, Psychonauts 2. Now, of all of the new characters that were introduced in the almighty and brilliant Psychonauts 2, Helmut Fullbear is the top of the top. It definitely doesn't harm things at all that the character is voiced by Jack Black, who brings such a warmth to the character that it's impossible not to enjoy the way that he caresses your ear holes. Oh, Jack, stop. Not in front of the kids. But it truly is the way that Helmut is written that propelled him to the top of fan favourite lists. His journey begins, as most things do in Psychonauts, from within his own mind, where we learn that he was actually killed 20 years prior to the events of the first game and has been relegated to brain in the jar status ever since. As we help awaken his brain by kickstarting each of his senses, we witness the wonder of Helmut realigning himself with our world, and it's done in such a pure and beautiful way that you begin to appreciate how we process the stimuli of our own world. We are literally seeing a character be reborn in front of our eyes, and it's absolutely beautiful. But his story is not over here, because now that he's inhabiting Nick the postman, he's got a new body. It's a bit weird to explain, but thus is Psychonauts. We actually get to see him overcome the grief of the fact that his friends basically left him on ice for 20 years and that he left his husband through his own death, and he had to go along with all of his struggles and emotional problems. It's really quite touching. It's a truly heartfelt journey, and one that is made all the better by truly comedic moments and an absolute belter of a song that Jack Black utterly makes his own. Number 7, Hallier Dubois, Disco Elysium. So Detective Hallier Dubois, or Harry to his friends, of which he has very little, is a brilliant character, but not because of the fact that he's an absolute badass with a pocket full of one-liners and then an arsenal of guns that would make Neo from The Matrix go, whoa, that's a lot of guns there, dude. No, he proves that you can be an iconic character simply by f***ing up. Because he proves that you don't even need to be competent at your job in order to make a huge impact. But you see, in the nicest terms possible, Harry here is a true and blue screw-up, failing upwards through pretty much the entirety of Disco Elysium, and being all the better for it. For what Dubois has in spades that a ton of other video game heroes lack is a true sense of development and progress, turning from a man who can quite literally die by his own tie in the opening moments to an instrumental figure in a region-wide plot of twists, turns, and betrayals. And what makes Harry such a brilliant character is that, on a base level, he is the most relatable avatar that we have in video games at the moment. We, as human beings, are incredibly flawed, and now we are playing as a character who is incredibly flawed. This is a video game that never ever lets you forget that you are playing a video game that does not have video game outcomes. You won't be sliding over the bonnet of your car or being able to flirt your way through situations as most other titles would. No, this is not a story of empowerment. This is depowerment. You are going to fail, but you're going to learn to live with your failures. You will be burping in the face of the beautiful, you will be tripping over your own shoelaces, and you will love every second of it. And why is that? Because when it does work, when you do get those slim moments of victory, god damn do they taste all the sweeter. Number 6, Kreia, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. So when it comes to talking about Star Wars, there are a few things that are definitely 100% set in stone. 1, that lightsabers are cool. 2, that Ewoks should apparently never be messed with if you're a stormtrooper. And 3, that the battle between the light side and the dark side will always exist because of the fact that they can never get along. They are diametrically opposed. Right? Well, it's that last point that definitely comes under fire thanks to Knights of the Old Republic 2. Because Kreia here is a figure that doesn't seek to master either side of the Force, but wants to destroy it entirely. Now, the reasons for this, which are drip-fed throughout the game, are because she views free will as the most important thing to life itself, and believes that as long as the Force exists, that it will shape the very fate of existence and cause nothing but death and destruction along the way. It's this philosophy of a rejection of the Force itself that makes Kreia such a compelling villain, if that's even the right word to call her, as on a base level, she's kind of right, albeit going about it in a rather heinous way. This, coupled with the fact that she's a genuinely likeable character while she's under the guise of your mentor, makes the ultimate betrayal and the choices that she presents at the end all the more affecting. While the ending of this very game was rushed to production and had a lot of things cut out from it, Kreia still remains as one of the greatest Star Wars characters, I would say, in pretty much all of the video game back catalogue that they've got, and that is saying something because there are some belters out there, but Kreia, she's right up there. She's right up there. James, where is she? No, not there. She's right up there. Number 5, Jade, Beyond Good and Evil.
Jules, I'm like 99.74% sure that Jade is going to be in Beyond Good and Evil too. I don't understand why You're doing those fingers, aren't you? Stop it with those damn fingers.
Oh, James, you really think that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is ever going to come out? Now, I'm sorry if you can't accept that, but really look at the facts. Look at the gameplay featurette that was released years ago and how far off finished this was. Look at how Ubisoft has gone extremely quiet on the subject and how alien Beyond Good and Evil 2 even looks when compared to the rest of the publisher's lineup. It is no cash cow like a Rainbow Six or a Assassin's Creed entry, and would definitely be Ubisoft's most creatively different title in decades, which is likely why it will never happen, as it will be likely impossible to recoup the losses. Still, as sad as this reality is, Jade is most definitely one of the most well-rounded out characters in video game history. She's smart, she's funny, she's resourceful, but not in a sense where she's infallible, and it's those flaws that make her so beloved, which actually makes her namesake rather fitting because she is a true gem of a video game protagonist. Yes, thank you very much, that pun won me Joke of the Year 2022. I know we're still in January at the time of recording, but still, I will definitely take it. There's my trophy. James, I'm sure, has animated a nice trophy here. Ooh, look at that. Aren't you jealous? And I'm going to eat it. Can't have it now, can you? He's not animated any of that, has he? Number 4, Louis Serra, Resident Evil 4. You can keep this in if you want. Oh, Christ. Oh, Louis, you were taken from us too soon, Louis. Tessa says 1 2 1 2. Right. Well, like an absolute idiot, just sprayed lens cleaner into my eyes. That was a good, great joke. Great joke that was. Actually crying now. So yeah, had to restart the shooting on that one. So James, right, we're back to. Bless you. I can't even do it. Keep all of this in. The audience has to know how much of a colossal idiot I am. Bless you, Louis. You were taken from us too soon. Now, if we're being honest, the Resident Evil franchise isn't exactly hurting for great characters, what with Leon S. Kennedy propping up the franchise and the almighty floating ham blimp powered by the smell of his own farts, Albert Wesker, dwarfing all other villains in terms of corny awesomeness. Yet when it comes to one and done foes and heroes, the quality does vary wildly. Thankfully then, when it it comes to Resident Evil 4, we get a brilliant, albeit short-lived, supporting man in the form of Luis, a scientist who actually helped form the Las Plagas parasite as we see it in the game, but who has now turned traitor on Sadler and is looking to make his quick escape. Under the guise of a police officer from Madrid who's just been caught up in this maelstrom of chaos, he charms, smarms, and shoots villagers in the arms, alongside Leon, all the while planning his exit strategy. And what makes him so lovable is his infectious charm, his snappy dress sense, and the fact that he can back up his words with a well-placed bullet or two. Many fans remember the cabin defense section as one of the highlights in an already stacked game, and one of the main reasons for this is the back and forth between Luis and Leon, and it's therefore incredibly sad to see his actual exit from the game, well, goes anything but smoothly. Also, and please do with this information what you will, according to his wiki, if you throw eggs at him, he does not respond. What a useful piece of information. Number 3, Nick Valentine, Fallout 4. Now I know what you're all thinking, finally, a list made by Jules Guild talking about iconic one-and-done characters and the Fallout universe. Surely these will intersect and form a Venn diagram, with the only true answer in that we're finally going to be talking about the wonder, the robo-brain with a heart of gold, Skynet from Fallout 2, right? Wrong, you idiots, because he's terrible. Why would... Oh, you're trolling me. But alas, I'm going to have to once more snub this cheeky little fella and talk about the first real mate of machines, Nick, why bother with anyone else, Valentine. I mean, seriously, Skynet, guys? I mean, his arms count as weapons, and he can't unequip them when he goes into town, meaning that everyone turns hostile. Why are you trying to push Skynet so hard? Anyway, back to the machine of a man who stole our hearts, Nick Valentine, who is quite possibly the best Fallout companion in the entire series, thanks to his outstandingly whip-smart dialogue, useful insight, and the fact that a synth who dresses as a private eye and who possesses the memory of a real-life gumshoe from way back before the war really is the unique concoction, and one that goes down as smooth as his vocal delivery. Whereas most other companions will chip in here and there, it seems that the devs really favoured Nick, as he nearly always has something to say of the locations you visit, making his presence in your party feel much more like a true companion rather than just a pack mule waiting to cart your 7 sets of combat armour back to the bloody shop. Number 2, Senator Armstrong, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Now normally you'd never find a politician gracing one of my lists with the word incredible next to it, unless that was incredible disappointment to our country, or as a haughty response to when you look at how little is being used for public spending, like, incredible. That's probably the only 2 times that would happen, but still, the scenery-chewing madness that makes up Senator Armstrong's DNA doth make him qualify for this list. F. There's your medieval quota. And trust me, when you're in a game as over-the-top and chaotic as Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, you have to do a lot to stand out, which the Senator does in spades thanks to his ridiculous physique and appearance that kind of looks like old-timey WWF wrestler IRS has been paying his taxes right into his veins. Oh, and by the way, taxes in this example is just a shed load of roids. Still, what makes the Senator truly a force to be reckoned with is the fact that he will hit you as hard as a surprise audit, absolutely wiping the floor with the player thanks to his nanomachine-powered punches and grabs. And all of this makes for a deliciously over-the-top villain that feels kind of part pantomime and equal parts punishing, meaning that you'll be smiling ear to ear listening to his taunts, and even more when you finally cave his smug skull in. And number 1, The Chosen, XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. Now, I know what you might be saying. Jules, can you really put 3 characters in the number 1 spot of a list about iconic one-and-done characters? And to that, I'm going to say, listen, pal, I don't have much going on in my life. I've just sprayed lens cleaner right into my eyes. I can barely see what's going on here. Give me this something. And if you want to get technical about it, I truly believe that these 3 here are kind of like the Holy Trinity, like God itself, because they form one person, but are 3 very distinct different parts, alright? That's how good I think they are. Jesus good. And if you think that's overselling 3 tough-as-leather boots mini-bosses a little, then my friend, you've never played XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, as this terrible trio is all you'll be talking about come the close of things. Upping the already spine-bending difficulty, this expansion adds in the threat of the assassin, the warlock, and the hunter, who can and will drop into your missions at the worst possible time to absolutely ruin your day. Possessing skills and resilience above even the most deadly enemies, each Chosen will force you to to adapt and change your strategy on the fly as you dash to protect exposed snipers from a blade to the throat or scramble away from a personal black hole opening up under your feet. In a classic example of show don't tell, the Chosen let their actions speak volumes for them, and each volume is, let me just check here, it says you on it. Just says you over and over again. I tell you what, I have had an easier time trying to chew through asbestos than beat each one of these bastards, especially on higher difficulties. I may absolutely love the Chosen, but they definitely hate me. And there we go, my friends. Another episode of Tues Your Own Adventure in the pocket, out of sight, wrapped up in a bow and sent off into the ether. I hope that you enjoyed that. Please let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below, as well as your suggestions for next week's episode, because I love combing through all of them and picking apart all the great ideas and be like, I shall sup on this one today. Delicious. But if you want to chat to me sooner than that, then you can go over to Twitter and type in @RetroJ, where the O is a 0. I've had a lot of people that just go in there and type in RetroJ with a 0, all text, don't find me. It's my fault, mate. I back in, 2012 when I logged up for Twitter, probably should have thought a bit more about that. But I didn't. But yeah, RetroJ with a 0 over there. And I'm also on Live and Let's Dice, where I'm doing lots of streaming and stuff like that. You can see what I'm painting over there at the moment. At the moment, I'm building up a Black Templar force for my Warhammer channel, which is going to be mega fun indeed. So yeah, if you want to check me out, go over there. Live and Let's Dice. But I just want to say one thing before I go, my friend. You are the best character that I get to speak to on a weekly basis, because I absolutely adore the support and the community that we are building with this little series. It is incredible to see the love and energy and positivity all swirling around in the chat below. So big up yourself, my friend, because you deserve all of the best things in life. Take that love that you give this channel, this community, turn it inwards. Allow yourself that bit of mental rest, that peace that you can give yourself by just being kind to yourself, because you goddamn well deserve it, all right? Big love to you, my friend. Now go out there and utterly smash it. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.